here. Something over there. It sounds like browner-ish things, I think. We've been to the other side there. Well, it depends. We've been to the other side of this body of water. Are we thinking about the one to the south of us or the north of us? We're thinking about the one south of us. Yeah, so we could go in this direction.
Slow now.
Yeah. We can check it out. It's actually Neckers. A little bit stronger Neckers than the ones we are used to seeing. I'm intrigued. They look like their coloration is a little bit different. They look a little bit greener, a little less gray. And we can't just instantly fry them with a single Igni. It's a little bit discouraging. Roach is displeased with us fighting all the Neckers directly in front of her.
Time to end this.
Okay, can you not burrow underground? Right as we're about to, come up to attack you. That'd be great. Also, I missed. Because it's going to take much longer if you don't cooperate. Well, these Neckers still make weird movements after we take them out. Okay, well, there's another one somewhere. There you are, right as I was about to loot the other one. As I finally got to it. Well, oh, okay, hello. Now you popped up underground, didn't you? From underground. Oh, there we go. Still wearing the skull helmet stuff, though. Okay, so... Oh, one more, maybe? Multiple more. I mean, is there really ever an end to the Neckers? Probably not. A cool front flip. But also, you might want to focus on actually attacking us. That tends to also be helpful. Okay. I think that was the last of them. And the Neckers can be good sources of mutagens, although it's usually just the blue and sometimes the green. I think it's only the Necker warriors that will give us the red mutagens, which are much more difficult to pick up. Where is this? Okay. Is it just you guys, or is there anything in particular that you guys were, say, guarding? Not that I can tell at the moment, though. I am hearing something else. And I doubt we can actually walk up this, cool as it may be, reach the summit. Feeling that's going to happen with some regularity here in Skellige. And still hearing whatever that is. That. Ah, okay. It has a red circle around it. That seems like that's a quest enemy of some sort, and it is dangerously close to picking a fight with us. I think we do want to skip that for the time being, because that certainly seems like it could be something that is specific to a Witcher contract that we may not have negotiated the price for. Okay, so this is the Palisade. And we just raced right over it during that previous race. What am I doing, you ask? Well, you know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing. Well, that's the Ooh, that's the fast travel spot. That's cool. It looks different. I like it. Okay, let's get Roach back. Come on, girl. And
That's it, Roach.
we have technically already followed the path. It's just that was during a race. That's a lot of monsters. Guessing more Neckers. Let's just get a little bit closer so we can get a sense. Yeah, I think I see them. They're Neckers. Okay. Not terribly interested after having just fought some. We know what the deal is with them. Then, yeah, if we wanted to go to the X marks the spot, we just need to get around this mountain range. And so we could loop around this way. But let's
That's it, Roach.
go to the town here in hopes of picking up those the notice board notices and getting a better sense as to what else is out here. suppose there might be other things that we
Faster.
want to do. Okay, and seems like we're just about there now.
Take it easy.
Here is the notice board.
Slow now.
FYRESDAL. Could potentially read the... No, not here. Read the description on here. See what else we can learn about this spot. It is difficult to do that when we're standing right next to it, though. It really just wants to show us our player marker. We just, like, take a few steps away from the fast travel spot. That might help. And Roach is not helping either. Alright, so we will never know what the deal is with FYRESDAL. I mean, we could summon Roach to us from over here if we were really concerned about it. My guess is that conversation over there is going to lead to a quest. Oh, right, and we actually don't want to be standing right next to this either. We are going to learn about this place, okay? I'm curious. Those living here are tough on the outside, but soft and tender within. See, that's important information. Don't judge a book by its cover. Hey, Skelliger. Ah, Clan Drummond Guard. Okay, so yes, we did see that supposedly we're now more in Drummond territory. So I thought Croc was saying basically all of this island was his clan's, though the Drummond people may say otherwise. Okay, definitely seen there is a quest here where it seems as though I was thinking there might be one. Let's do this while these guys are out here, and then we'll go to the notice board just in case this is only available while everyone's here.
And then what?
Dan, a Witcher showed up.
Then nothing. Never you mind. This here's a job for a Witcher.
Hmm? Hello?
As you wish.
What's the problem?
A beast. It attacked me and my comrade.
We'll gut the fucker.
Aye, but not us. The Witcher.
Why bother the witch man? Like
The
it's not
witch
a
man.
pack of wolves. They got you so afeard you shat yourself and saw specters. Let me round up a few sturdy lads and we'll...
Won't be needed. The Witcher will help, right? You shan't let us down.
Care to explain a little
Pharaoh
more
folk,
thoroughly as to
dumb
what
as
exactly the deal is? Huh. So you are apparently from Pharaoh, based on what that guy was just saying, and not a huge fan of the local? Yeah, why don't you want the locals' help?
That hunter, could he be right? Maybe it was just wolves.
I knows what I saw. Besides, who's he to say? Those Drummond blackguards don't know shite from shoelaces.
That particular blackguard was wearing on-crate colors.
I was gonna say that looked like that guy was wearing red.
You sure about that?
Sure than sure.
Doesn't matter. That lot's not to be trusted.
Oh,
either.
no.
Monsters attack
Seems a
me.
little
I
suspicious,
need a
this
Witcher,
guy.
not some hunter.
Maybe he's just a clueless foreigner. But, I mean, what, he's from a different island, and yet he still doesn't know these guys? Whereas we're from the main continent? We're from much further away than you are, and yet we know better than you, which is odd. Makes me a little bit suspicious.
You from Pharaoh? Come a long way.
That just happened. Came to FYRESDAL to trade a load of hides from Sforlag.
Sforlag? Thought you were from Pharaoh. Sforlag's on Speakerog.
Well, you see, first I sailed from Faro to Sforlag.
Yeah, you see, you
Traded
are
some loot from the continent
full
for
of
hides
lies
there,
and
then
deceit.
came here.
Pharaoh to Speakerog to Ardskellig. Roundabout journey.
I hadn't
Yeah.
much choice, had I? A merchant sails where the trade's good, not where it's close at hand.
Don't believe you for a second. But what's the deal?
Fine.
Humor me.
What's this about? Tell me.
Me and my mate were on our way here to FYRESDAL with a cart full of hides. Suddenly we heard a screech. Our horse got spooked, started kicking, and then monsters jumped out of the bushes. My mate drew the short straw. They got him first. By some miracle I managed to get away.
You
What
sure you
kind
didn't,
of
like,
monsters?
just Kill your friend.
Neck hooks, no doubt about it.
What?
Neck hooks, not neckers.
You know, sharp claws, animal skulls on their heads, attacking swarms.
Neckers?
Yeah, neckers. Near 20 of them.
Okay.
So will you help? Will you kill the bastards?
Yeah.
That road needs
Pretty
to be
simple
clear.
stuff.
Aim to travel it again soon.
Okay, so it is seemingly a Witcher contract after all. Was wondering what kind of quest this might be, and my guess is that we ultimately would have still found out about it had we just gone to the notice board directly. Yeah, but let's make sure we talk price
Don't
first.
know. You lost your transport, so I don't see how you're going to pay me. And I don't
That's
work
true.
for free.
I've coins set aside. I'm sure we'll agree terms. How much would you ask?
Let's see. It does seem as though basically every quest here in Skellige is worth more than the quests that we've been looking at in, or we're looking at in Velen and Novigrad. Even, well, maybe not some of the higher level quests in that area. Like, I'm thinking of what were some of the higher level Witcher contracts, like Oxenfurt Drunk and, the Mystery of the Byways murders. That might have been approaching this amount. So it's probably just based on the level of the enemies that you're fighting.
A fair price. So, how will it be?
Sure.
I'll help you.
Grand! Knew a witcher wouldn't let me down. Not like some waffly prick from Clan Drumden.
Or Clan Drummond.
Yeah, whatever
Good luck,
Drummond
Witcher.
is.
Fare you well.
Wait. Where should I look for you?
What?
Once I finish, where will I find you?
He will run away,
Aye.
and will never pay us.
Meaning in the tavern nearby. I'll await you there.
Fine. See ya.
Okay, Skellige's most wanted? I don't know about that. It's a questionable name. Also, you still have an exclamation point next to your name, which is a little bit weird. Because we... Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, we should have asked you about those quests. I'm curious what level it is. Of course, would be a Witcher contract. Skellige's most what? 29 for this. Wow, that is it's up there. One of the highest ones that we've seen thus far in Skellige. And I don't think we've yet fought a Necker boss of any sort. And of course, the Witcher contracts are basically always bosses. Okay, so let's make sure we go over to the notice board next. See what this says. Your first raid. Attention! Some reminders for men who will join a raid for the first time this spring. Abandon your shield, and you'll be clobbered to death with it. Desert the battlefield, and a stone will be hung around your neck, and you'll be drowned in the open sea. Fail to slay at least one foe during the raid, and you'll have to shave off your beard and mustache when you return. Oh my goodness, no! No, that's too far. That's too far. How dare you even suggest it? Death of Erica. My wife Erica died in childbirth yesterday. The child is alive. She was good, strong wife. May all the FYRESDAL remember her name. Beware of wolves. There's quite a few wolf packs around this year on Ardskellig. Guard your sheep like your daughter's honor, and travel after dark only on a swift steed and with a sword at your side. Whaling expedition. Blue whales are migrating from the north. First ones will appear near Skellige next week. If you know how to wield a harpoon, aren't afraid of storms, and want to embark on a true adventure, talk to Haglin. Ooh, I wonder if that's something we could actually do. Not that I'd support hunting whales. Whales are important. When I find the git who's been setting snares out in the forest, I'm gonna rip his guts out, wrap them around his neck, and use them to hang him on a tree. That's pleasant. Only cowards and sluggards, unworthy of FYRESDAL, hunt with traps. Right. Cool. You have no cunning to track a boar, no courage to face him eye to eye, no strength to kill him, then you don't deserve to eat his meat and wear his skin. Contract dragon. Okay, now we're talking. Listen, careful folks. A dragon to top all dragons. Oh, this might be the one that we saw along the way that we deliberately avoided because we saw that it had a red glow around it. Terror, straight from the Skjald's tales, has infested the lands about FYRESDAL. It's 50 foot long, 100-foot tall and can incinerate a man with fire from 100 spans off, or maybe even more. It's hard to say exactly, for no man's been anywhere near that close to the creature and escaped with his life. Yet I have faith. There's a son of Skellige, brave enough to defend us from this evil by slaying the dragon. What about, say, like, son of Rivia? How about? In exchange, he'll get more than just a reward. He'll have the right to take the gold which, as every fool knows, those foul beasts guard in their lairs. Huh.
Last night was
Okay.
As if
Also, should get more undiscovered locations. Here's Contract Dragon, which is a very creative name for contract as well, I might add.
they said their herbs can't help.
Oh, nothing for the whale hunting. I do wonder if maybe just by talking to people we might get that to show up. Let's see, Contract Dragon, that's 28. That's another fairly high one. I'm guessing that generally speaking, the further away we get from our landing point on this island here, over here, that the higher level the quests are going to become. Like, it seemed the things in this area were generally speaking in the mid-ish teens. Then as we started going up toward the bridge to Kaer Trolde, it was getting more in the high teens, and then once we started going over here, now we're talking like high 20s. So yeah, I think the further we get from this, generally speaking, the higher level things are going to get, with, of course, some variation here and there. And we did get a fair bit more question marks, tons over here, whatever's going on in this area. In that spot there, probably would have guessed something's happening there, given the appearance on the map. And even more, yeah, further south than... We do still have this... Oh, 2 more notice boards actually remaining. Let's chat a bit with people in town, though, because we've not had much opportunity to do that just yet. Let's see. Well, someone mentioned there was a tavern, which may or may not be the case. If it is, then of course that may mean there are more people to play Gwent with and purchase Gwent cards from. Let's see what this building is. Harley?
Leave me be.
Oh. That doesn't look good, Carly. Are you praying because those are friends of yours that you have lost? Or should I be concerned that you murdered them in cold blood? I don't know. I don't know about you, Carly. I'm watching you. Watching you, not to mention that this old man sleeps partially inside of his bed. Getting more and more suspicious by the second. I know you're up to no good. Just a matter of time before I catch you in the act. Opposition in Nilfgaard? Oh yes, we've read this, okay. Can we loot other things here? No? Also no? But this yes. And this yes. Definitely read that. Okay. I think that's it. That seems like someone we're likely to end up talking to later on. He's just not interested in speaking to us yet. Okay, let's see. Can we go in here? Yes. Doesn't necessarily mean there's anything in here worth our time. Okay. What about... Huh? Hello?
Oh, a witcher. You're
Okay, yep.
I reckon.
Let's negotiate a price for this one in advance in case we do end up running into it.
Tell me about this dragon. What's it look like, for instance?
You don't know? What kind of monster slayer are ye? It's got scales, wings, claws. A dragon's a dragon. No point gabbing. Just go kill it. For it makes more corpses.
Fair enough, I suppose, but, before we do, let's talk about the reward, and I
Let's
don't
talk
actually
about
expect
the
we're going to do
reward.
this next, but
See what you're
Just in
offering
case
for
we
this
run into
dragon.
it sometime.
Usually get that much for a necker.
Speaking of neckers, let's see. So like this is one level lower than the necker contract that we took with that previous guy, and that one I think we brought up to what 315. I don't know. Yeah, and he won't accept it, which makes sense that he would be looking for a slightly lower price for what is a lower level contract. Might we have just cracked the case for how the algorithm works for how much they are willing to accept for their Witcher contracts? It is a function of what the level of the quest is, and it is clearly going up by 5 with each level, and the maximum amount was 315 on the previous go round, and it would have been 310 for this one, but we weren't able to because we had already increased his 9th level. So if we were to go 305, that would technically be the threshold right here, but that would just further increase his annoyance because we're continuing to make him more annoyed, so we need to go down to 300.
It's a lot, but then the dragon's a lot too, so be it.
I don't know, something like that. Alright, we'll look into it.
Witchers don't usually kill dragons, but I'll look into it. You said something about victims, right?
2 brothers, Askell and Nillis, went out to hunt, turned into prey. Wounds so horrible, even I went weak in the knees when they brought them in. And I've seen my share of bloody harm. Been on 32 raids, from Bovis to the mountains of...
Fascinating story, I'm sure.
Yeah, but...
I'm more interested in these wounds.
Yeah.
Can you describe them?
Look for yourself. Family's only now preparing the boy's funeral. Their corpses still lie in their home, at the village's northern end. But treat the bodies with respect, mind ye, as tradition demands.
That was, who was it? Harley that we saw? Person that we were bad-mouthing not long ago. Okay, so maybe we'll head back over there. Well, I'm curious if that, I mean, that may or may not show up on the actual Witcher contract. Let's actually see if it does. Quest for dragon. Yeah, okay, it does say talk to the victim's mother. So I think we'll head back in that direction when we actually do make a point of completing this quest here. But like I was saying, I don't think that's now. I think we're probably gonna end up doing at least a little bit lower level quests first. Okay, so that was that building there. Did we speak to... you're just a random Skelliger.
Got my hopes pinned on you.
This building is empty of loot, it would seem. At least this part. Next room over. Anything in here? Hello, random Skelligers. Do you have any possessions that we can rob you of? Perhaps. Just asking for a friend, is all. Oh, no, not us. Don't be silly. We're Witcher. We would never do that. Come on, don't be silly. What are you talking? No, of course we haven't done that to every other house in this village. That'd be crazy.
Watch it. Brand those swords, but I prefer the trusty axe.
Okay, and then we have this little building on the end. Okay, I guess you're sleeping. I was gonna say, you don't look so good right now. Look like you've perhaps seen better days. But maybe it's just that you need to find a better place to sleep than on the floor. East.
Fresh meat!
Apparently the fresh meat.
I am Tucker.
Let's see, that is the building that we just went into. More shield maidens. I'm curious. Come on. Come on. The theory is 60% of the time right, all the time. Apparently not today, though. Well, what is this? Now, that's not anything particularly special, I'm afraid. That's just cornwort. Anything out there? There's just rocks. think those are just rocks. Do we expect anything out of this body of water? Does this go out into the ocean? Technically it does. Yeah, so we probably don't want to be swimming this right now. This is more something you'd be looking to do with an actual boat. Could potentially see if there's anything upstream, though. At least for a little bit here. Oh, that bird flew right in our face. I did not really expect to happen. This is going a little bit further away than I was expecting this to go. I mean, sure. It could very well be a quite long... It is a very long river. Yeah, let's not follow this all the way upstream. We'll be following it for a very long time. In fact, we'd be going over to the X Marks the Spot quest, for the most part. So let's head back to town, make sure that we actually do check everything out, because I thought someone mentioned a tavern, but I think it was the guy who's the foreigner, who might actually know precisely nothing about this town and may have just completely made that up.
Foreigner, what's your step?
No, I wasn't talking about myself. Hey, what though? I think we've been in all these buildings. Maybe not this one here at the door. It's not. We haven't been over here though. I know we haven't used that spot there to upgrade our gear. That's lootable. I think that's clear. Yes? I mean, at some point we're gonna get Skellige guards mad at us, right? It does happen everywhere, eventually. Happened in Novigrad. Happened in White Orchard. I assume it happened in Bell at some point. Well, you know, it'd be great if at least we got something of reasonable value out of it. Let's see what's in here, though. You're the smith. Okay, that makes sense. You actually buy and sell things here?
Why wouldn't it be? Seeing as I make the best arms in the Isles.
Is that so now?
Iron ore from the bowels of Mount Ardfand, where giants once tore up the earth. Then my forge fire, blazing unbroken for 6 generations, its care passed from father to son. And every day come dawn, Hara, my youngest, she pricks her finger and squeezes a drop of her blood into the water I use to temper the blades.
Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. So what's new in FYRESDAL?
Anything new in FYRESDAL?
Yeah.
FYRESDAL, sorry.
This ain't the continent.
Oh, I thought you said
Fashions
us.
don't
You,
change
not
with the
new.
mountain snows. We live like our fathers and grandfathers lived, fishing, hunting, and raiding. And so shall we live, to Ragnarok and beyond.
Okay. Then, what are you buying and selling? Because we did pick up some junk items recently that we were saying we'd like to dump. Mostly just a bunch of axes and blackjacks and things of that sort. Shouldn't be worth too much. You actually have a ton of gold here. Wow. And it seemed like you got a lot of big talk there. Wasn't necessarily sure how much I believed you, but maybe you do, truthfully, have a good thing going here. Let's see. Dwarven Blade. Ooh, critical hit damage bonus. 75. That's nice. What else? Slashing damage. Again, I'm a big fan of the critical stuff at level 46. What? More crit stuff. Lower level this time. Yeah, you have some nifty things here. What is this? Gird Draconid leather? Huh. Wax. Okay. Very interesting. Some of these crafting material, or some of these diagrams rather, are very good. But they do become pretty expensive. I mean, we will probably want to get greater runestones of all the types of runestones we can get. At some point in time, we'll probably develop a preference for that. But it seems like if we were to do that and then also pick up all these other crafting diagrams here, then we might just immediately make ourselves broke. I don't particularly want to do today, if we can avoid it. So, hey, what if we played you at Gwent, and then instead of betting 5 rounds, we bet a crafting diagram instead? Alright, let's take the runestones and just make you totally rich, even more so than you were before. And it does make it tempting to say sell you some of these items here. But we didn't we pick up an upgraded version of the Assassin Gauntlets? Yeah. So we could definitely sell you our old pair of these. That's safe. I mean, that's not making a huge difference here. Could also sell you some of the other armors we picked up along the way. That might not be a bad idea. This was solid. Well, was it this one? Yeah, we picked up a few solid armors, though. You wonder if maybe we want to hold on to some of them, but I think we're going to see a lot more of the level 16, 18, and 19 armors, and so we might not need to be too picky just yet. But I do wonder for the epic rare or the relic rarity one, we might be able to break that down into some interesting components. Let's save that for that purpose, at least. And then, oh, we can sell this too. Making up a small fraction of the ovals that we just spent. And then racing stuffs, or horse stuffs in general. This is worse than what we have right now. As is this, so we'll sell both of those. And then can we dump other, like, crafting things? I mean, we did recently pick this up. It can sell for 81? That's not a lot. I think we'd probably prefer to break that down into components. We actually can sell you monsters items. Or, you know, like, crafting things from these guys here, like, say, monster ears and eyes. I think this might be a decent time to offload some of those things because, yeah, this guy has possibly more money than we've ever had any other merchant have. Well, don't sell the silver. I'm thinking things that are pretty easy to farm up if we really wanted to. Things like monster eyes and ears that many types of monsters drop, and the types of monsters that are basically spawning all over the place. So, I mean, we won't sell all of them, but we'll sell a bit. The kind of thing that we've done a few times in the past. Monster bone is actually worth more? Oh, and ear as well. Oh, these were usually just worth 5. So maybe that was selling that to just a normal salesperson, and then the blacksmith pays more for them for some reason? Does seem strange. Okay, remember, don't get rid of all of it. But I do think we can make a decent amount off of selling some of it. Monster heart. It's another one. Monster claws. We have a ton of these. Sure. Monster hair. It's kind of weird, but sure. It's a little bit of that. We don't have quite as much. Basically, just want to leave us with 10 to somewhere in the teens remaining. Or 9 in that case. That way, I think we'll still be able to craft most things that we might want. How much are the Indriga? Whoa, armor plates are worth a ton. No further reason to make a point of hunting down those Indrigas every now and again? Maybe. Huh. Oh, but there are other, not crafting, but technically alchemy items that you would not buy from us. Okay. Okay. Well, we did spend a lot, but I think ultimately, after we sold a lot of other things, we made up for a lot of that spending. And there were definitely some other interesting things here. Well, this is pretty cheap. Let's pick that up. This is pretty cheap as well, and is actually kind of close to being something that we could use. Not yet, but close-ish. But like level 37 and 46 things, I think we'll definitely pass on those for now. Maybe, yeah, 45. Maybe we stick with this for the moment. 37. And this, I think, is just parchment. Yeah. Yeah, so let's stick with what we have for now. Yeah. I think so. And we can probably sell these gloves as well. Once upon a time, these were similar to our old assassin gloves, but now that we've upgraded our assassin gloves into better assassin gloves, I think probably dump those. The big thing is that we do have a lot of value in our swords, our relic rarity swords, and we've been back and forth about, do we sell them, do we break them down into components? Hard to say. That'd take, I think, a little bit of a closer look, and soon I think we'll need to answer that question, because yeah, we're holding on to a bunch of them right now. And what if we even dismantle some things and do not this stuff, but we have a lot of silver and gold things that we picked up recently, like the teapot. Do that. Candelabrum. Do that. That's silver ingots. Wow. Oh well, I was gonna say 32. No, that's technically, we have 32 in total. We probably only gained, what, 4 from it, because I think we had 4 of those candelabrums. I mean, that's still a reasonable amount. Ornate sword. Can be sold for a significant sum. 40 or 52 is something, or broken down into silver ingots. I don't remember exactly how much those silver ingots are worth. Bear in mind, it also costs 22 to dismantle that. That might be worth keeping there. Gold casket. You can break down into gold ore. I'm assuming that's worth doing. That's actually our first gold ore. Wow. Definitely break this down as well. Huh? Oh, Skellige shawl? Oh, that's specific to a quest. I was going to say, it looks very similar to the silk here, but it is not the same. Then we could break down the cone or the skull if we wanted to. Quest skull and the quest cone. Gold necklace. I think we want to break this down too, although that is worth a surprising amount. Gold nugget. Not sure we've seen that before. We saw the gold, what was it, ore that we got recently. Usually ore is the lowest level of refinement. Then we have things like ingots and plates, usually one step beyond ingot, but I haven't really seen nuggets, so I don't know. Well, there it is. How good it is. Yeah, I suppose that must be fairly common. Yeah, these ones are so valuable that I wonder if selling them outright might still be better. I don't know, I think there are times when we do want to have gold for crafting purposes, and it's not the easiest thing to get. So let's do it. Same with some of these other rare metals here. So I think we can stick with that. We could sell the white bear hides as well. The other hides here. What is this? Breaks down to lead? I'll tell you, figurine, it's junk. Okay, I guess. I think lead is one of those items that we saw previously. There's basically no purpose for, though. It costs 1 to do it. So, sure. Oh, you guys are saying the shells, those are all worth breaking down. And do we have more of those? And also like the butter knives, various knives for metal and all that stuff. iron ingots. I think that's probably all the stuff we wanted to get. That should be pretty good, I think. Oh, this too, for pearls. Okay. And again, we now have made this guy a little bit more rich. But so be it. Okay. And then we can also play you at Gwent. After we learn that we can craft all these bazillion things, give it a shot.
Yearning to play a few rounds of Gwent.
Yearning
That'll
to
set
play
me
you at
straight.
Gwent. Okay, we definitely want to go Northern Realms. No question. Let us... I think we just stick with what we've done in the past. Let's keep the setup and go. They go first, and they are Scoia'tael, it looks like. Okay. I forget what Scoia'tael's special ability... Oh, it's Scoia'tael's special ability is that they draw an extra card at the beginning? Okay. They're starting with 11 rather than the usual 10. Then we have... Range nerf, I think is good against Scoia'tael. They can either play cards in the melee or the range row. They're going to have a lot of those. So we hope that they play in the range row. Ranger's Horn we've seen is not great, because we are not going to have many things double outside of our siege row. Vesemir could be one of those, but lots of heroes, okay? Probably would like to have more going on in the siege row. I think we get rid of Commander's Horn here, hope to pick up siege units. Another... Oh, okay, I mean, it could be worse. Vesemir. We got the melee nerf, which is not bad, but we have very little in the siege row here. Okay, so you went melee with a card that could go in either melee or range. Let's play Siggy, who's our spy, and then we draw in. We hope that we get more siege, and we got a little bit more siege. That means that our leader ability is going to be a little more potent. That card is amazing. Spy, it has 0 strength. It's a hero. Huh. So you just drew more cards from that, of course. Commander's Horn here is pretty useless unless and until we draw cards that are from some, or that go in some other row other than Siege and that aren't heroes. So, well, we're either going heroes here or we're going Siege. Not much else we can do now other than nerf melee. But even that drops our opponent down to 2, and that's still not enough. So I'm thinking we throw something down here, like, say, Natalis. Which is just enough for us to take the lead. Force our opponent to play something else. They're gonna... Ooh. Double the melee row. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Definitely not about to nerf it. I do wonder... I think we want to wait this one out a little bit. See if they happen to have a clear weather. Basically just wait long enough so that they don't want to play clear weather, or they already play their clear weather so they can't remove this, because it should be quite effective. Let's go Roach with our weaker heroes for now. Again, that keeps us slightly ahead here. Okay, now that's range. We do also have a range nerf. Probably wouldn't use it on just one card. If you continue to play more cards in the range row, then yeah, better bet I'll get it. Let's see how you respond. Now, I think that's just about as much as I want to play in terms of heroes here. Not sure we've ever seen anyone play Yorba. He's a 10 strength range hero for Scoia'tael, of course. Makes sense. So he won't get nerfed. Does mean that melee is definitely a better target for that nerf. So let's lead off there. If they do immediately turn around and use a clear weather to remove it, then we can throw on the range nerf, and that would lower them by 5, which should still be enough for us to take the lead here. So either way, it's looking pretty solid. And of course, we do have cards in both the melee and range row, but they're all heroes. Ooh, I don't like that. That's actually enough for you to take the lead there. So I don't want to, although we could immediately take the lead by playing the range nerf, I don't want to play that right now, because if they do have a way to remove weather effects, then they're going to remove both in one turn, and I don't want them to do that. So I think that means we are throwing down one of the big heroes here, and we're saving Siege for a future round. So let's go Siri. And that's melee, which, even though it got nerfed, you have so much boosting going on there that it's still not bad, which is pretty crazy. You're ahead by 1. That was also muster. So you summoned a bunch of cards from either your deck or your hand. Looks like they came from your deck, because I don't think the number of cards you had dropped very much at all. So now we're in a tricky place, because I no longer want to, I mean, we could throw down Geralt. We definitely don't want to start throwing down siege cards. We don't know what our opponent's threshold is here for when they will draw the line and stop playing cards in this round. We've seen it in the past, the CPUs have not always had the best sense of when they should do that. If we were to play the range nerf here, then we could have them drop below us and we'd be in the lead. Like I said, I'd rather wait that one out a little bit more, but I think at this point, if they had a way to remove the melee nerf, they would have done it already. So that may mean that this is safe. Give it a shot. Technically speaking, it is the most efficient of ways. Oh, okay. For us to take the lead. You played a 10 strength hero. I think we now play Geralt, and then we leave it at that. If you play more cards to surpass us, then we just need to pass and take the loss after throwing in a bunch of stuff here. Torrential Rain. Okay, well, you know what? It's actually very good that we waited this one out and got you to play that card in this round, because if you played that in the round when we were planning to play all of our siege cards, it would have been catastrophic. So I think we pass here. If they want to try to take this round by playing additional cards, and they're going to have almost nothing remaining. Okay, well, now you're, like, throwing. Okay, there's zero reason to play that card, but sure. And then we won the round, so we draw another card, and it was another siege card, so that's big. So now the big question is, do we deliberately try to win this round, or do we deliberately basically just throw this round and prepare for round 3 victory? Why would we do that? We could do that because if we were to say, tell you what, this Commander's Horn's actually doing nothing for us, because it is just, well, we only have siege cards. We have our leader ability, which already is a Commander's Horn for specifically the siege row. So this does nothing. What I'm wondering is, do we play this and only this and force our opponent into playing something to at least not lose in round 2 and make it so that they only have 2 cards remaining for the final round? Something to be said for that, but there's also, if we were to just pass immediately, then our opponent would need to play something in order to not be tied with us. So the Commander's Horn, I think, doesn't do much for us either way. I mean, we could play here because it is doing nothing, no matter what. Maybe it encourages them to play a little bit more aggressively. I don't know. We'll see what they do here. Ooh, okay, Medic. Glad you're using it on this round, but then again, ooh. Medicing into a spy is not good. However, you did medic into a spy in a row that we are doubling. So I think we definitely pass here. Unfortunately, you are now back up to 4 cards, but you absolutely need to play at least 1, if not 2 cards to pass us here. Ooh. Buster can be good, and it is just enough by itself to beat us in that round there. So did get rid of what was probably your best remaining card. That, what, will destroy a card in the melee row if we have more than 10 strength there, but we don't, and we aren't going to play anything in the melee row, so fine. It's also 7 strength, which is really nice, because that means we can play 6 strength cards here, and you still have the highest card, so Scorch would take you out. Love another freaking healer. Okay. 6 strength card to bring back is not terrible, because it's basically equivalent to what we're playing now, except our cards are going to get doubled, whereas yours presumably are not, depending on what you have here. My guess is that last card was a Scorch you didn't want to play because you had the highest unit. So we successfully played our card in the right order here. And now we can just, well, we've already won. We need to play these here and then double them with the leader ability, and there you have it. For a second there, you had me questioning whether or not we're going to be able to pull that off, but ultimately, we made it happen. And we got, we're still getting all the crafting diagrams showing up here. But from the Gwent, what? Are you serious? You gave us oil? What? Excuse me? I mean, I was joking about you giving us a diagram, but I definitely, if you were going to give us an item, I definitely would have preferred a diagram to oil. So, thanks, but no thanks. Worst Gwent reward ever. Ugh, some people.